All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. You guys want to know how off the cuff I do these videos? Do you want to know, honestly? I have a list of things that I'm going to talk about, and I haven't even decided whether or not I'm just going to do one big long video where I cover all this stuff, probably take about 45 minutes, or if I'm going to break them up. I literally hit go on the camera before I've even made a decision on what video I'm shooting, okay? So if that doesn't tell you who the greatest of all time is, jumping on the mic and talking about this motherfucking topic, then I don't know what will. And I could say that before I've even said one thing about MMA, because it's my show. I can say whatever I want. Even if I follow it up with a bunch of utter nonsense, it makes no sense. Like literally just utter nonsense. Even if I said that, you know, I was really hoping that Cody Garbrandt would fight fucking Francis Ngannou next, and I gave you like a fight breakdown. I could still say I'm the GOAT on the mic because it's my motherfucking show. I do what the fuck I want to do. By the way, I'd take Francis in that fight. If Francis fights Cody, I'll take Francis, just for the record. See, I told you GOAT. I called that fight for show. So, I don't know. You know what? You know, generally I break these up, you know, and sometimes you guys have been saying, hey, Jesse, do like a more long form version. So I think since I'm just doing this on the spot, I'm going to do that. Let me tell you what my problem is. I don't know what to title these videos, right? Like I'm literally about to talk about so much shit, man. I'm going to talk about so much shit. What the hell do I title it, right? I'm going to talk about judges trying to judge objectively when there's a superstar in the fight. I'm going to talk about Sean O'Malley, the fact that I called fucking Jordan Burroughs Justin Burroughs, which is understandable. I was talking about Justin Gaethje, okay? But a bunch of people pointed that out, and I thought that was pretty funny. And then I was like, yeah, I'm like, well, the reason why, because what I said was Justin Gaethje said Jordan Burroughs couldn't take him down. And I said Justin Burroughs couldn't take him down. And so in the comments, I was like, oh, yeah, well, no wonder he couldn't take him down. Justin Burroughs is some fucking asshole bouncer at a club that he was at. Hey. GOAT in the comments as well. Anyway, we're going to talk about everything I heard in the Ali Abdelaziz interview, which was fascinating, especially given all the stuff that's going on with fighter pay. I mean, listen, let me tell you what you can expect permanently from Jesse on Fire. When I'm wrong, I will call that out instantly, like I did because I said Justin Burroughs like an idiot. But I was talking about Justin Gaethje, so I get a pass for that, okay? I'm giving passes. I can call myself whatever I want. I can give myself passes whenever I want. However, when I do say something just outright stupid, I will call it out. I would actually even say that I might have been a little bit overzealous when I was harping on the Bellator guys being in the rankings. You know, Douglas Lima is pretty freaking good, bro. Look at that. I didn't use the F-bomb. Look at me tempering myself, even though I've already said it like 8 times in this video already. Look at that, though. Look at that. Growth. We can all grow. I can become a better version of myself that, you know, doesn't say fuck in my videos. Oh, oops. Anyway, so, yeah, Douglas Lima's a beast. And, but, I mean, come on. The light heavyweight rankings. I mean, Bader untested, but Davis, fourth. Come on. That sounds a lot like Davis against a lot of those guys that are ranked below him. Sounds an awful lot like Cody Garbrandt versus Francis Ngannou to me. Look at that dude, just sharpest motherfucker on the mic there ever was. All right, so let's start here. Judges judging in favor of superstars, or trying to judge objectively as it relates to judging superstars. And I'm going to call out Joey Stephanie. And I have a feeling that I wrote your name down wrong because I believe it was Joey Stevens. But now I'm looking at it, I wrote down Stephanie. But look, hopefully you know who you are because we kind of interacted briefly in the comments and I said I'd call you out. And there you go, I did. So now what we're going to talk about again, judges and trying to be objective when they are judging superstars, okay? So there's always been the old kind of, I don't know what you would call it, like, you know, the belief that if you're going to win the championship, you have to, like, decisively beat the champion because the champion is generally given the benefit of the doubt when it comes to decisions, okay? That tends to be true. And I don't disagree with that particular, you know, with that particular outcome, right? If it's really close, like, give it to the champ. Now, there have been some awful decisions in that particular realm. Like the number one worst ever, in my opinion, would be Hendricks over GSP. Hendricks won that fight. Plain and simple. You honestly would have to be. I actually can't understand how anyone could have given that fight to GSP. And I think GSP is the GOAT, except for maybe Amanda Nunes. Straight up. But that fight, I mean, it just wasn't even close. And then, USADA came in, TRT on the outs, and then Johnny Hendricks never won ever again. That's not really true, but certainly never looked like that ever again. Johnny Hendricks wasn't a guy that I thought of as a TRT guy either, but unless, what I will say? So, you guys, I only spend half the time on here, giving myself a hand job about all of my amazing attributes. But one of them is I can read people very well. I've said that 1,000 times, but also I can tell what people's vices are. And I know that sounds weird, but I can look at a person and be like, that guy likes blow. That's a guy who drinks. And Johnny Hendricks is a guy who drinks. I can tell you that. Let me rephrase that. I'm not making blanket statements. I'm saying he is wired for drinking. Okay? Like, that doesn't necessarily mean he does it. But he's a guy who is biologically predisposed to having issues with that particular substance. Again, that doesn't mean that he doesn't. Like, when I say that guy likes blow, what I'm saying is, if that guy did blow, he'd like it a lot. And if he ever has, he probably really likes it, okay? The guys who have that kind of little extra intense look. More intense the look, more likely they're going to enjoy doing blow. But it's not, anyway, that is what it is, okay? You look at me, do I look like a person who likes smoking cannabis or eating edibles? Do I look like a person that likes that? No. You know why? Because I start thinking about myself and judging myself, and I don't like the way it feels, okay? Like, I like living in this shell of, shallow exterior that makes me feel good about myself, okay? I don't need to dive deep and think about all the reasons that I do all these things and then just, dissect my personality, okay? I don't need that. That's not helping. I'm trying to get through the day, man. Life is hard, bro. Life is hard for Jesse on Fire, except not really. But it can be, but not really. Like, even when it's hard, it's not really that hard, but it's hard. So I don't need to be judging myself, okay? But that said, I do like to get high and, hang out with my wife. Like, me and my wife by ourselves, maybe me and my brother, small groups, I like to get high, joke around with everybody, and then, do some self-reflection when there's not a bunch of fucking people around. I don't need your fucking eyes on me when I'm judging myself. I don't need you judging me while I'm judging me, okay? Back the fuck off. Jesus. Eyeballs constantly. It's infuriating. Anyway, so did I just talk for like 20 minutes without even touching on the fucking subject at hand? Okay, so the judging, when you're judging a championship fight, I do not think necessarily has as much to do with the champion as it does with the celebrity status of that fighter, okay? So here's basically what my belief system is. You cannot force a judge to not know who the fighters are, right? Okay, just fundamentally, you can't erase their memory. Okay, if a person is a judge, a fight judge, pretty fair to say they probably follow the sport, right? And if they don't, what the fuck are they doing judging, right? So assuming that they follow the sport, they know who these guys are. So they watch a John Jones fight. John Jones is invincible. He's never lost. In their mind, it is inconceivable that John Jones would lose. So when they're interpreting the round that they just watched between him and Dominic Reyes, I'm not saying that they would just outright rule it for Jones no matter what, but if it's close, you're looking at it through lenses of John Jones, the best fighter in the world. If it's on the fence, John Jones probably did a little bit more in that round. I mean, if you think about how the rounds are scored, it's like, if it's close, it's literally like that guy won. It's like that simple. That's why these 10-8 rounds, these new kind of expanded 10-8 rounds where it doesn't need to, you used to literally, to get a 10-8 round, have to have a guy pinned in the, in the corner of the octagon, pull his pants down, and that was a 10-8 round. You had to penetrate. That was the only way that it was 10-8. They're like, I think he got all the way in there. Full penetration, 10-8. Now, it's just I don't know the exact rules, but I know that if you're dominant in a round, they can give you 10-8, and that's important, okay? That's really important, because otherwise, you have a hair, just fucking right there. And it's they have to go, that guy won, right? There's no draws. There's no draw in a round. He won. The only way there's a draw is if a guy gets a point taken away. You have to pick a winner. here's another thing, and I'm going to sprawl on this now. So basically, let me close that off real quick. Okay, so my position is that judges are not, in most cases, capable, well, maybe not most, but in some cases capable of watching the fight with completely blank eyes, as if like without knowing who these guys are. So if one of the guys is a big star, expectations, etc., I think that they're going to tend to rule in favor of that guy, okay? Or whatever. You get the idea, okay? So now I'm going to sprawl. Now this is not on my sheet, on this long sheet. I told you, dude, this is going to be a long. Hopefully you guys like enjoy my content because this is going to be super fucking long, man. Maybe not though. Maybe it'll end up being really short. You know, maybe I'll get on a roll. But one thing that I have talked about previously, I actually sent this into Shale for fan questions. Yeah, you want to know the genesis of Jesse on Fire? You know, I mean, aside from the fact that I've been cast on reality shows multiple times in my history, and I was an executive producer / main talent on a show that Esquire Network bought before Esquire Network went out of business, probably because of my show. Okay, is because I started doing Shale Sonnen fan questions. I started, recording myself and sending them in. I got on a couple times, but I was watching my videos back. I'm like, Jesus, like obviously I'm going to watch it back before I send it in. I'm like, I've got this shit fucking dissected better than any of these motherfuckers. I'd watch myself and I'd go on YouTube. I'm like, who's doing this better than me? Nobody, son. And that was when I was I was Jesse off fire. I was just, Jesse fan questions, And I would watch Shale and I'd be like, Shale is kind of the GOAT on the mic, but I think I got him. That's why I'm just going to take that motherfucking moniker. Again, look at what I'm doing. I'm sprawling. I'm not literally, what am I talking about? What the fuck am I talking about? Okay. The fan question that I submitted to Shale on this particular subject was about draws. Okay. Now I have two thoughts on this. Okay. It's about draws and it's about open scoring. Okay. So number one, let's talk about open scoring. So everybody says, why can't fighters see what the rounds are being scored at? And I was on board with that, where I was like, yeah, man, like, what's the point? I don't understand. Why keep it a secret? Don't you want guys to know that they're behind? And that made perfect sense to me. The counter argument to that, though, is what about the guy who knows he's ahead? He's already won the first 2 rounds, right? So like he technically could just cruise through the final round. So it creates a situation where guys are not fighting honestly, right? Like you want the guys fighting honestly, where neither of them really knows and they both feel like they need to fight hard, right? As opposed to this guy's already won the first 2 rounds, and then now, or think even in a championship fight, guys won the first 3 rounds, right? And so now you have one guy who is literally running around, chasing this guy around the fucking octagon, and the other guy is just doing anything he can to not engage because he can cruise to a victory. Because listen, man, like, I get it. I get the whole like, well, someone who's a real fighter would never do that. Okay, well, how about someone who has 3 fucking kids? And if they win the belt on the next fight, they're going to make $3 million more than if they don't end up winning that fight that they're in. You think they'll be willing to set aside their fucking warrior code for $3 million? Probably, right? So that's what it's about. It's about both fighters fighting honestly, because if you got a guy who's just dipping around, like there are certain guys who probably wouldn't do that, especially if you handily won those rounds. You're like, this guy ain't got shit on me. I'm gonna fucking smoke this bitch. What do you think I'm gonna run? You think I'm gonna fucking run? Jesse on Fire wouldn't run. Jesse on Fire, but that's because I already have like 3 million to me. Come on, that's a joke, by the way. It's a complete fucking joke. I know I showed you I had a nice watch before, but that was a fucking joke right there. Anyway, but yeah, so I actually am kind of now just completely on the fence about it. I kind of like the idea of open scoring. I think it'd be really cool for the fans to know what the fucking scores are. That's for sure. And I don't really know how that would play out. I don't know if guys would just fucking coast around because the fans would fucking hate that. And you know what ends up selling pay-per-views? You become the champion and you're going to make back end. You know how you make back end? Selling pay-per-views. And you know how you don't sell pay-per-views? Running around because you're up 2 or 3 rounds, right? So I don't know. I don't know how big of an issue that would be if they did open scoring. But I really just don't. I don't like the go to the judges and you have no idea. And then this brings me to my next topic, which is draws. Okay, I am of the opinion that draws should not be a super insanely rare outcome. Okay, like there are fights that are so fucking clearly draws, and we just kind of go, okay, this guy's a winner. And now to the point where will just behave as if the outcome of the fight wasn't a W or an L, right? Like Marlon Moraes and Jose Aldo fought. It was clearly like a draw. I mean, because people are like, I don't know. I thought Aldo got it. Like, oh, no, I thought Moraes might have edged him out. Okay, if that's the conversation between the two of you, then it's a fucking draw, right? Okay, it's like, I don't know. I think like bobbity bloop bloop. And you have people, I don't know. I saw it this way. Draw. Fucking draw, right? No one won. No one decisively won. It's a draw. Like, that's what I'm saying is I don't really understand how is that a negative out? It's the same thing, like, except for on the record, you have to take an L when you didn't really lose. You know what I mean? It's like everybody knows, okay, it's not like he fucking really it's not like he really like lost that fight, but he has an L on his record. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I know like champion, you'd have to fucking nuance it out because of championship fights, you don't want to fucking draw, obviously. Maybe you could just fight to the death in championship fights. So like that would solve all of it. It's just, like the 5th round goes until someone's dead. Like we could do it like that. That would solve all the problems, right? Dude, I'm on it today, man. This is going to be a one-take fire fucking video. This is my first take. I literally, the first time, boom, record, and boom, fire. Yes. Sometimes you just feel it, Like I feel like I imagined Conor felt when he was fighting Eddie Alvarez, where, my punches are just landing right now. Like I realize my punches are landing. I don't even need to watch this video back, and I know this video is fucking fire. But I think maybe this is a good time for a little intermission. So in my intermission, I want to give a public service announcement to the MMA community and the, call it 900 people that'll watch this, still a growing channel. It's early. I could go tell my 175,000 subscribers on motherfucking TikTok, except that, I would have to condense it down to a pretty short message. But I might do that, actually. Here's the message, okay? If you are an actual established person in the MMA community of any kind, where exposure, connections, those kinds of things are something that you can do quickly with a cell phone, I am open for business, okay? I would love to go into a management agreement with someone who knows, they look at my channel and they're like, Jesus, this motherfucker's gonna blow up. Well, why don't you do it with me? And you will take a percentage of me blowing up by being my manager. If you are someone in the industry who already has the connections and can open those doors for me, because otherwise I'm gonna have to do it myself. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna take a while. And I am impatient. Fucking impatient, man. So, if Brendan Schaub is actually watching my videos, like someone in the comments had alluded to, Brendan, you're my fucking dude. I'm talking goat on the mic. I mean, I'm saying goat on the mic, which is true. But I love your shit, man. I love your fucking show. I think you're hilarious. The stand-up when you did the Travis Brown story is fucking priceless. Love it. So, if you want to be my manager, let's fucking talk about it, my dude. Talk about it. I'm not hard to find, okay? People find me fucking all over the place. Anyway, and by the way, that's not just for Brendan Schaub. That's for anybody in the business. Let's fucking do this. Let's push fast forward on the goat on the mic becoming a worldwide brand, which is going to happen. Anywho, all right, so next thing I wanted to talk about is this. Let's talk about Sean O'Malley and Cody Garbrandt going back and forth, okay? Ryan Milligan. What's up, Ryan Milligan? One of my early adopters. He fucking commented on this. I was like, I'm going to call it out, dude. Good topic. Let's talk about it, okay? Here's the deal. I see this O'Malley and Garbrandt thing shaking itself out just through kind of silliness between the two of them of whose knockout was better. Okay, do not make that fucking fight. Okay, that is the last fight at 135 that should be made. The last of any matchup that could happen between anyone in the top 15. That is the one fight you cannot make. Do not make, don't do it. I don't think I'm going to be educating the UFC on this, okay? I assume that the matchmakers are smart enough to fucking know what I'm about to lay out, which is that those two guys are superstars. Those are the two biggest stars at 135. Both of them have it. They've got it. Both of them, okay? Garbrandt is kind of like a quieter version of me, Where you look in his eyes and you're like, this guy couldn't bullshit a person if his life depended on it. Like I'm bullshitting, but if someone was like, here, tell an actual lie to deceive that person out of something, I'd be like, how about I deceive your face out of your nose and eardrum? That was a bizarre choice, what I was going to remove from their face. But you know what I mean? It's just not something I'm going to do. And Cody, you can see that dude loyal to the bone. stud, no bullshit, and like we've discussed before, that motherfucker loves Gucci. And shockingly, look at me. I mean, I'm not wearing any right now, I don't think, but I mean, probably won't surprise you that I'm a big Gucci guy myself. Garbrandt is the shit. I fucking love Garbrandt. O'Malley is a little bit different. O'Malley also incapable of bullshit. Both of them incredibly exciting fighters. You know, dude, I mean, listen, we're living vicariously through these professional fighters, right? Kind of like how, you know, you guys are living through me, where it's like, Jesus, I wish I could have full sleeve tattoos and a fucking tattoo on my hand. I wish I could fucking do that shit. You know, I'm not even getting in the octagon. Sean O'Malley, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, down his entire fucking rib cage, you know? Tattoos on his face. You know what kind of, like, the commitment that takes. And then, you know, Garbrandt, whole neck. I mean, that is, I am a fighter. I am never getting a fucking office job, ever. And if we're actually gonna, you know, discuss this, okay? You know, we could go through each one of my tattoos and I would tell you a specific reason that I have all of them. But what the overarching meaning of all of it is I have these because I'm not going to ever live in a world where I can't have them. I have full sleeve tattoos because I have full sleeve tattoos because I want them. And I'm not going to live in a place where I would consider like, oh, but what if someone didn't want me to have them? Right? It's a statement of independence. You know, some people might not understand, but that is exactly what it is. And that is why I got this stupid one on my hand. I fucking hate this tattoo on my hand. I hate it. It did not come out the way that I thought it was going to. It's actually my least favorite tattoo. Also the most fucking visible. So, but yeah, it didn't come out the way that I thought, but nonetheless, hand on the tattoo on the hand, that is intentional. As the ultimate, like, don't give a fuck. I'm not going to get one on my neck, at least not now, just because, you know, that actually would impact my job. Like, I can, you know, I'm in tech. I can get away with a suit with a little hand tattoo, but, you know, like, blessed on my neck, yeah, it might be a little bit much. They're like, oh, so what's the quote for the platform subscription fee? I'm like, blessed. That's what it is. They're like, I don't understand what you're saying. Neither do I. Just saying I have a neck tattoo, so you're probably not going to buy something that's, you know, costs this much because I have a neck tattoo. Anyway, as soon as this fucking channel blows up, actually mark my words. When I boom, like when I really like boom, look, I'm sweating, dude. So I'm fucking just dropping fire. When I boom, I will get a neck tattoo. I will tell you guys that right now as a guarantee to my early adopters, and I'll let you guys fucking choose it. No, I won't. No, I won't. I will. Remember the thing about like deceiving people? Like I could joke around. Like I'll let you guys choose it, but no. Unless you guys choose something awesome, then I'll do it. But it has to be really awesome. So anyway, having those two guys fight, one of them has to lose. Why the fuck would you do that? So stupid. Like why the fuck would you do that? Those are the two guys that you absolutely do not want to lose under any circumstances. Those two guys fight. They fight for the belt. Okay, having them fight now I mean, that would be so idiotic. I just can't. I can't. But if we want to break that down, that fight down, whew, man, I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to break it down because Garbrandt is actually like one of my absolute favorite fighters. Like, you know, I got Masvidal, Conor, Garbrandt, Till. Yeah. Those are like my guys. Those are my guys. My fucking guys. So I don't want to have to break this fight down, but I will say this. Garbrandt is as good as you can get standing on the feet with traditional boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing. Plain and simple. I do not believe that you can get better than he is, you know, in those, like, with the really kind of mechanical round kicks, straight punches, hooks. Like, he's incredibly fast. He has incredible defense. And when he's now focused defense first, whew, he is a motherfucking beast. A beast, dude. And, but the thing is guys like Conor, that's the same conversation why I think Conor will beat Gaethje. Gaethje, kind of the same, you know, as Cody in that regard. And guys like Conor pick the mechanical strikers apart. And O'Malley, I think, is like Conor in that regard. He's super unorthodox. You cannot train for him. He's going to throw a million things at you that you've never seen before, and he's thinking, like, did you guys hear O'Malley break down his knockout? Like, did you guys actually hear him talk through his knockout versus Cody's? Okay, like he's kind of talking shit about Cody's, where he's like, dude, he like threw it from the hip. It was like, I mean, it's a great knockout, but like, you know, it wasn't like technical. And then he talks through his knockout. Dude, this guy is playing motherfucking chess, okay? Like, he's playing chess. He's thinking 4 strikes ahead. Like he is the real fucking deal, dude. And I just think, I think Cody would have a real hard time with him. I do. Just because he's so good at controlling, O'Malley's so good at controlling distance, which is also what Cody is amazing at. And O'Malley will have him on reach, you know. But at the same, you know what though? Let me say this. Cody is an incredible counterpuncher, and O'Malley, he takes chances. You know, he'll come in with a head kick, and then he does all kinds of unorthodox stuff. His hands are down most of the time, you know. His defense is an incredible offense, but I mean, fuck, dude. Cody is surgical, powerful, and fast. You know, like what's his fuck that O'Malley knocked out? He landed a shot on O'Malley. If Garbrandt lands a shot on you, you know, that's a different ball game. As Asuncio found out when his cheekbone hit the other inside of his other cheekbone, right? So I have no idea how long I've been talking because I literally have this entire other thing to talk about. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this now, actually. I'm going to chop this because I'm going to do the Ali Abdelaziz interview in a separate video. I'm literally just going to press off and then on. I'm going to do that video. I'll upload them separate just because that's an important video and I don't think you guys will watch all the way through this utter nonsense. By the way, I like... if this was an annoying video to watch, I apologize. As a matter of fact, can you guys please tell me in the comments if you found this video awesome or shit? If you get to this point of the video, then clearly you're one of the people who liked it because I've been talking for fucking an hour. But I'm serious because I can do these things straight-laced on MMA, but I also can make this shit the Jesse on Fire show like this. This is the Jesse on Fire show. That's what this one is. This is like half stand-up, not stand-up, but you know what I mean. You know, I'm here to entertain. Half actual analysis, maybe even more 70-30. But yeah, I mean, I can do them both ways. So why don't you tell me in the comments what you think? And I think that is basically what I had aside from that last one. And correct, that is. All right, so I'm going to sign off right now. You guys will see me again very, very soon. Please like the video, comment, tell me what you think, subscribe, ring the bell. Tell every MMA analyst that you ever see, any of them, anybody whose channel that you're on, you tell them, be like, Jesse on Fire is the motherfucking GOAT, and he's gonna put your teeth on his motherfucking necklace, okay? Put that shit in the comments so that they start seeing, they're like, who's this Jesse on Fire? And then they'll watch this and they'll be like, oh shit, maybe I should just hop on this train and fucking manage this guy and then, you know, get a piece of this guy's explosive success, which is inevitable. When a guy, you know, like, you know what it's like when you're playing with house money? You know, like I tried to do this, I'll be honest with you, like I tried to do this maybe 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. And at the time, I was not in as comfortable a position as I am now. And it's amazing how different it feels when you're playing with house money, you know? Where like, when I know this is going to work, but like, if it didn't, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But back then, it was like, oh my God, if I can make this work, I was desperate. And I could tell you why. Some other video, you know? Some other video, I could tell you why. But it just feels so different. Like, I'm playing with house money, dude. These motherfuckers, they know I'm coming. You know I'm coming, MMA analysts, because I'm playing with house money, okay? I'm not like these other fucking shit clowns. By the way, and other guys, and I'm not going to name names on here. If I hit you up and I say, hey, do you take marketing dollars to call people out on your Twitter or to do sponsored content? Okay? Guess what, motherfucker? I'm actually offering you money. Okay? So respond. Like, what kind of fucking business person are you? Like, I'm sure that you get a lot of shit fuck YouTube people that are like, hey, do you do sponsored content? And then they're like, I'll give you $200 to do blah, blah, blah. Okay, like, I'm a fucking businessman, all right? Like, I'm literally offering you money and you're not even responding to see what the offer would be, okay? Grow the fuck up. Unless you are not responding because you're like, I'm not putting this guy on blast. He's my competition. If I give this guy clout, no one's gonna watch me anymore. That would be smart. Then I would be like, damn, this motherfucker's a chess player. He realizes He realized I'm trying to Trojan horse him, like, hey man, let me give you a little bit of cash. Expose me to your people, dog. It's fine. First hit's free. First hit's free. Yeah, you're gonna love it. Take the first hit. You're gonna love this shit. It's new. It's new. Anyway, if you like the channel, subscribe or ring the bell. Peace.